Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So, first of all, chosen, I want to talk to you all about a dream that I had last night. It's very interesting. So, in this dream, there was myself and this other male. I've never seen this person before, but you know how it goes in other dimensions. It could be somebody that you have seen here, but you're looking at a different version of their avatar in your dream state. But either way, this male, he kept asking me for things in like different scenes. Like it could be food, it could be something to drink. It was just random little things that he was constantly asking me for. I don't remember all the things that he asked me for, but I do remember obliging him. Like I didn't mind. So whatever he was asking for, I would give it to him, of course, within reason, right? So I remember going outside and it was he, myself, and a large group of people. We was just walking outside and I looked up at this tree. Well, actually, I was skipping. I was skipping ahead of them. They was walking and I was skipping. So I looked up at this tree and I was like, you know what? I want to touch that branch up there. It was literally the highest peak of the tree. So I flew, literally flew up to the top and I grabbed the branch and I hung right there for a minute. I could still feel the sensation in my hand. I hung right there for a minute, just suspended on this branch, and he's looking up, they're looking up like, okay. So then I came back down, and in the next scene of the dream, he was sitting next to me and he said, I really like you and I wouldn't mind being with you one day, but I feel like you have to mature more. And I remember looking at him and then I woke up, right? This was very interesting because I feel like this dream is a strong indicator that a lot of I guess the best way I could say it is the mere mortals, right? Because immortality is a state of mind. So those beings who don't see beyond this point in life, they don't see beyond this lifetime, are mortals. They look at the chosen seed as being immature or naive in a lot of ways. And I strongly feel that it's because they have not reached a certain place of evolving on a spiritual level, right? For him to tell me that I needed to grow up more was very interesting because this was the same person that was literally asking me for things all throughout the dream. All throughout the dream was asking me for things. And I was obliging him. So it really makes you question if you have what someone else needs, right? And you are fully capable of giving them what they don't have. That right there, first and foremost, lets you know that you have evolved or you have matured or you've progressed a little bit further than they have, right? But then for him to say that I needed to grow up, I think it was because I was skipping and then I flew up to the top of the tree. Does that not indicate an evolved being? I mean, I'm flying, for goodness sake. This is the misconception that a lot of people have of the chosen right here in the 3D. That's how they view us. It's like we have what they need. And a lot of them ain't ashamed to ask for it because they look at our giving nature. For some of them, they see it as being a naive trait, but it's very beneficial to them because you have things that they do not possess, right? But you're also very giving of these things, okay, within measure. And so for this person to say that I needed to grow up, there is a very skewed perception of maturity here in the 3D plane. Society has convinced people to think that maturity means that you're rigid, you're controlling the way that you function, you're only practical, only logical thinking, right brain or left brain type of energy, right? They don't see the benefit or how highly evolved a chosen seed has to be to take their shoes off and walk barefoot in the grass, to hug a tree, to listen to the birds and understand that they're sending you messages, to to moon gaze, to star gaze, to sun gaze. They don't see how evolved you must be to utilize your gifts of clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience. They don't see how evolved you must be to take your visions literally, to recognize synchronicities when you see them, to have psychic dreams that's able to guide yourself and others. Some people are just so rigid that they've allowed society to convince them that they are more mature than a chosen being who has embraced all of these things. But yet and still, you have things that they need, though, chosen. You got a whole lot that they need that they cannot will into their own life because they're so rigid and dense in their energy that they can't manifest. They'll be quick to take. They'll be quick to ask, but they won't be so quick to recognize just how evolved you truly are, chosen. They won't accept it. And I think that's why I looked at him like that. I didn't say anything to him, but I looked at him like he was crazy in a dream when he said that to me, because it was like, I just flew. And I wasn't doing it to impress anyone. I was doing it because that's just what I felt I wanted to do in that very moment. Okay. I looked up at the top of the tree and I said, well, I want to touch that branch. And that's what I did. So some of them may feel like a lot of them, let's just put it this way. A lot of those beings who won't color outside of the lines are very jealous of how fearless you are, how you're so connected and tapped in with your childlike nature, how you could care less about what people think about you. This is what activates your powers. When you're like, it doesn't matter who's around, I'm going to tap in. I'm going to stay tapped in, and I'm going to do what I feel guided to do in this very moment, regardless of who's looking, regardless of who's judging. You're just free, chosen. And I think that is highly intimidating for beings who are just so dense and rigid in their energy. They don't know how to just be. Just be. Don't allow anyone out here to make you think that you have to downsize, that you have to get back inside of the box with them in order to evolve, whether it's romantic relationships, because this one right here, it felt like for him, in his mind, oh, you're a great catch, but you just still need to grow some more. Grow and do what? Become dense and rigid like you? Is that growing up? Completely shutting down my natural gifts in order to appease you so I can walk in this straight line with you? Absolutely not. That to me is not growing. That's actually going backwards. It's time to reconstruct the way that we view maturity and evolving. Because maturity does not mean that you hang up your inner child. It does not mean that suddenly, you're just straight-faced and serious all the time. It does not mean that suddenly, you have to go back to moving the way society expects you to move. That is not maturing. That's stagnation of growth. And most of the time, people's growth gets stunted in their childhood. They don't realize they're still stuck right there at 14. Because from the ages of 0 to 14, they was conditioned to believe that maturity looked this way. Maturity looked that way. Society said it's this. The pastor said it's that. Mama and daddy said it was this. The school said it was that, right? The news said it looks like this. And so their growth has been stunted since they was a doggone adolescent, and they don't even realize it. When you're truly tapped into your inner child, you recognize that evolving means that you evolve with that inner child. That inner child doesn't stay stuck and rigid in a particular belief system, expressing itself in one way to keep everybody else comfortable. So I would just say, even if you are considering romantic connections, because for me here in the 3D, I'm not, it's not even something that I'm currently dealing with at all. Okay. I'm not pursuing anyone and nobody is pursuing me. So in the 3D, that's not my problem, right? I'm not dealing with people that's rigid like that. But I will say that if that opportunity arises, chosen, if you find yourself in that position, I strongly suggest that you lay it all on the table. Let them see every facet of who you are from the very beginning. If they want to take you to the park and go for a walk, say, oops, my bad. Let me stop right here. This tree is calling me. Let me go give it a hug. Yeah, let them see all of that. Okay? Because that is going to be the ultimate determination of where that person stands. Is their growth stunted? Is their growth stunted? Are they intimidated by your supernatural abilities? Are they intimidated when you tell them I had a particular dream and I want to share it with you? Are they intimidated when you say, hey, yeah, I got these spiritual gifts and I want to just, tap in with you? If that's something that runs them off, then give thanks. Give thanks. Show them early, y'all. That's my message for you all. I hope that it brought you some clarity for those of you who might find that this is relevant for you at this point in time. Please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. I love you, and I'll talk to y'all next time.